Welcome to another edition of Mid-South Viewpoint. Hi, I'm Byron Tyler. Glad to have you along today as we visit with a longtime friend of mine, Pastor Ralph White of the Bloomfield Full Gospel Baptist Church. He's also the founder of the God So Loved Prayer and Outreach Ministry. Ralph, it's always good to see you.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Hey, listen, you had your schedule right on time today, and for some reason, I put down that you were going to be in the studio at 10 o'clock this morning, so
Yeah.
I'm all ready for you to walk in. 10 came, 10, no Ralph White. And then, so I called, I thought something happened, because usually you're on time, you're here. And I tried calling your cell. I tried texting you. I didn't hear anything back. And I was really starting to get concerned. I said, what's happened? I called your church and talked to the secretary. And she said, well, let me get in touch with the first lady. Of course, you were graciously, you called me back in a little while and explained, Byron, our time was at 2:30 this afternoon to record the show.
Yeah, I had a doctor's appointment at 10.
So you weren't going to be there at 10.
No.
Well, it's always good to get together and to talk. And how things been going with you lately? You look real dapper today, by the way.
Appreciate it. It's my radio clothes.
Yeah.
I didn't mention to you earlier, I had a heart attack Christmas Eve.
Wait a minute now.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. You did not tell me that.
Well, I guess I get so busy. I forgot to deal with those little things.
Was it too much of the holiday food? What was it? What happened?
No, we're just in the midst of rushing and so forth. And I have this defibrillator, and it's supposed to go off, if something happens. But apparently it forgot what it was supposed to do.
Uh-oh.
And the first one didn't do anything. The second one, I was actually out, and the Lord brought me back. The second one did.
So you actually have a backup defibrillator? Is that what happens? Or is it actually?
It's supposed to hit. If something goes wrong with your heart, it's supposed to hit you like.
So this is actually built in. You got one built into you.
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Carry it with me every day.
So it didn't work?
It didn't. And then when they monitored it and looked at it, it hit again.
Yeah.
And that's what revived me. But I was really out. And fortunately, I was at home, and my wife was there. My daughter was in town, and there was another gentleman there who was a Christian who had decided he'd come and do some work we had done that morning. He prayed, and the Lord told him to go there, and it was fortunate he was there.
Wow.
He prayed, and the Lord was working in it, and it's a testimony. We were in the hospital Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
Oh, my.
A couple of 3 days after that.
Wow.
And after recovering, they said my chest was to have been hurting. And the way I fell, my wife said she heard my head hit the door. So but
no concussion or no problem with any brain or any injury there?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I've always been crazy, so it may have straightened me up a little bit. But the Lord blessed, and I'm fine. I didn't know. I think maybe when I fell, I just dropped and maybe twisted my knee because it's swollen even now.
Oh my goodness! This is the other knee, or is this the knee that? Because I know you had
another knee. Yeah.
Okay, because I know you had to have your leg amputated up until your knee. I think, was that right?
Right below the knee.
Right below the knee.
Yeah.
But this is the other knee, the good leg.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. The devil is busy. He'll try to stop you, but I tell him, stop to me is only a yellow light.
I was just thinking about the Apostle Paul when we read the ventures and the things that he did, and while he was proclaiming the gospel of Jesus Christ, and shipwrecks, he got bit by one of those very venomous snakes. They're deadly and poisonous. He had been beaten to the point of death, more than once, I think 3 times. So he experienced a lot of hardships, and some people, I don't know if they realize that this relationship with Christ can sometimes, Jesus said, in this world, you will have tribulations.
And many other afflictions of the righteous.
Yes.
The Lord shall deliver them out of them all. So I walk in that deliverance.
Right.
And it was amazing how it happened. And people look and say, well, how are you? I'm fine.
Yeah. You look great.
Take it easy. Thank you. Take it easy and continue to do because the work I do is, pastoring, I could do that. But I believe in getting in those streets, walking and doing those things. Kind of why we're here today.
Exactly. We've
talk
got
about
several things to talk about, and I want to get an update too on the God So Loved. As I mentioned, God So Loved prayer and outreach ministry was just something that you had a vision for. The church got behind. You guys have been doing it through promoting with billboards in the city. Matter of fact, I was talking to someone the other day, and your name came up, and that they said, "Oh, he's the pastor with God So Loved." So you've got kind of a reputation in town that's connected with your ministry, the church's ministry, God So Loved.
Right. That's something God gave me. I said, it was so simple. I said, well, and everybody knew that scripture, and, we just put it on some billboards and yard signs, and people would literally, I wouldn't say steal, if we had them in certain places, found out they weren't there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so these people are tearing down. But we noticed we didn't see them on the ground, and we'd see them in individuals' yards and in their windows. And that's what we hoped would happen.
Yeah.
Is that we could spread the gospel with just those words, God so loved. And, that's a message that has resonated, throughout the city. And we're proud of it. But as I said, it's not something that we own, just something God allowed us to use.
To connect with people.
Right.
And I know sometimes our citizens, because of the crime stats, and they're victims of crime, families that get, caught up in situations where they're victims of crime, your church has, graciously come behind these events, these tragic events sometimes where murders are involved in families, going to offer support and prayer for families in their time of grief.
Right.
And, what a way to connect with people and let them know that God does love them, even in the middle of a tragedy such as a murder or a horrific crime that may be happening to them or against their family.
Yeah. We've seen it happen. And as you said, I meet people that I don't know. They know me.
Yeah.
But from not just the God So Love, but other things we do, humanitarian, even political and social, because it all ties in together.
Yes. You kind of get all in the mix, yeah.
It all ties in together. You can't fix one and let something go, unattended. It just gets out of kilter, and you're back where you were. We can't, hey, we're going to save the children. We got to save the parents. We just got to fix society, and that was a concern. An old man told me, he said, even in our ministry, and many times we want to be charitable and give, but, and that's good. That's good in its place. But an older guy told me that there was a lot of wisdom, and he says, if you feed a sinner, all you got is a full food. So we've got to change that heart.
Yeah.
Because they'll come, but they never see a need for a deeper change. And that can only come by the gospel of Jesus Christ,
That's
transforming that individual. So charity is one thing, but we've got to change that heart.
And really get to the heart of the issue, literally the heart of the issue. Well, Pastor Ralph, I was looking on a recent report. This was a local television station did a report back in April of last year, of 2017. Actually, this is 2 years ago. I forgot, we're in 2019, but 2 years ago. And I'm sure some of these stats are pretty close. Talked about a report ranking Memphis as the most dangerous place to live. And there are 2 Mid-South cities that are on the list. This came from the Neighborhood Scout that looks at violent crime reports obtained by the FBI from local police agencies. Violent crimes include rape, armed robbery, aggravated assault, and murder. And Memphis, at this time in 2017, I don't know where we are today, I didn't check, but in this report, Memphis ranked as the 10th most dangerous city. But when they broke down the numbers even further, one local community came in as the number 1 of the most violent neighborhoods in the entire nation. according to the study, the area from E.H. Crump Boulevard to South 4th Street is the most violent neighborhood in the country. Individuals reportedly have 1 out of 9 chance of becoming a victim in this area. Now, in this area in South Memphis, is this close to where your church ministry is?
That's not far from where my church is. And sometimes statistics, they're not quite, because I read that report, then we kind of went back and looked at other sources, and it wasn't quite true. I mean, some of it is, there's a very high crime area.
I mean, in addition, you're involved on a state level with crime, concerns with our governor's office. At least you were when Governor Haslam was the governor. I don't know what that'll be like.
I'm still a part of
still part of that committee?
Human Rights Commission.
Okay, you're still part of that.
Still that, and then co-chairman of our Civilian Law Enforcement Review Board here.
Right.
So we have an ongoing communication with law enforcement, et cetera, and try to keep abreast of those numbers.
Okay, so that was 2017. So where do you say we fare right now here in 2019 in January, starting the year off?
I think we're still in a very dismal place, somewhere we don't want to be.
Yeah.
And that is one of the things that is moving me towards some of the things we're going to talk about today. We've done the Hands Around 201 Poplar, just left a meeting this morning talking to the Baptist Ministerial Association, trying to bring churches on this time, not but bring churches and pastors. We're going to do a training after this to show them how to get into the community. And that's one of the problems. And unfortunately, pastors, and this is not a negative, but I think sometimes there's a different paradigm now. Mm-hmm. We've got to refocus on how to have church and how to be church. And I think for the most part, we know how to have church, but I don't think we really know how to be church.
Right.
And there is a group of individuals out there who are waiting on us while we're waiting on them.
Right.
And
what was it? And I don't want to misquote Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but I was thinking about a quote and related to light and darkness that he made, that it's not that darkness, drives out the light. Light drives out the darkness, because you go in the room, you turn the light on, so the darkness goes away. And
that's in line with what we've been saying. We have let the dark influences determine our outcome when, like you said, it's light that drives darkness out.
Right.
And Jesus said, we are the light of the world, but I say to challenge, I said, we're the light of the world. We are, but unfortunately, we're neon lights.
Yeah.
And by the time people see us, and we're gone.
Well, and also maybe, the old song back in nursery school when we say, hide it under a bushel. No, I'm going to let it shine.
Let it shine. Let it shine.
Now, when you mentioned just now, Hands Around 201 Poplar, and I want for our listeners who may be new to the area, have not heard that term or this event before, this is something that started, how many years ago now?
Oh, God. 6, 7 years ago.
It's been that long. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Because we've been talking about this each year since you started.
And each year the crowd is there.
Yeah.
And
of course, for those watching on our YouTube channel right now and also listening to the radio show as it airs, 201 Poplar is our criminal justice building.
Right.
And that's where the jail.
The house all the criminals who come through.
Yeah, exactly.
They're housed there at 201 Poplar.
So the idea is to come together on February. What's the date now?
It'll be the 2nd of February. My birthday is the 1st, which is Friday.
Mine's the 21st.
Okay.
So that's why we get along so well.
There you go. Yeah, it'll be the 2nd of February. And we'll all gather there about at the least 11:30, make sure we're there so that we can organize, because we start at 12 and we start at 11
11, yeah. So you really want to be there at 10:30 then?
10:30.
Yeah. Well, yes, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great.
So 10:30 is the time you'd want to show up to get in place, and there's parking around the
Yeah, there are parking lots. You may have to pay. Some of them you don't have to pay on Saturdays.
Yeah.
We try to work that out but these are individual businesses, and some of them don't have the same heart as we do. But there's plenty of parking though, and that's really not been a problem. People come and they
exactly.
Walk.
Well, and because it's, again, as you mentioned, Saturday, it's not the work week when there's a lot of more traffic that's downtown.
Yeah.
So you come at 10:30, you get in place around the 201 Poplar building, the criminal justice building, and basically you're asking people to do what?
We'll be there holding hands, praying. And everybody can pray, and usually one prays and somebody else starts it up, and after a while you hear an orchestra of prayer, different individuals, men, women, children, just praying, and we come for that hour to do just that.
Yeah, and this is a peaceful, prayerful, because that's the focus is prayer, and I've always been touched when you tell the stories of the criminals inside the justice building that look out the window and see people joining hands around and praying.
Right.
You've actually had those inmates make comments to you in the past.
I've had kids come up to me and say, "We were there. I was there when you were praying for us," and they appreciated the effort, because many times it's cold. And individuals say, "Well, warmer." I said, "We've got to understand, we've got to be as intent about what we're doing as a criminal is. They don't stop robbing and mugging just because it's cold. So we as believers have got to be just as focused on what it is we're doing. So rain or shine, usually, God has blessed us, though, to have, for the majority of these years, good weather, sometimes a little chillier than others, but for the most part. And we've had successful gatherings. And as I said, children, black, white. As a matter of fact, someone from Gundy's group was there one year. They just happened to be passing by, but they were so impressed with it, they stopped and came back and, just come in. Because you don't know who you're impressing. You don't know who's in that building. And we understand, Paul says, we're not wrestling, and we need to understand this, against Johnny or Jane or whatever, but against principalities and powers, rulers of darkness, and the spiritual wickedness in high places. Yeah. So as we believe in the power of prayer, we believe in the power of the Holy Spirit to pull down those strongholds and change lives of those young people. And that is why we get up, not for show, not for any of that, but to see God make some changes. And I just believe he will.
And we have seen that. And we've seen families come together even as far away as Arlington and the outlying areas. Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't have to live in the city of Memphis to participate in this. I mean, you're a concerned follower of Christ, and that wants, justice in our community, that wants to serve the needs of our community. Prayer is a great way to do that. Coming together and praying with other believers in Christ is a great way to do that too. Yeah. I know in the past you've had other involvement with, I think the mayor has also come out and had a few words with the group that's been there.
We are inviting the mayor. I just saw the county mayor this morning. I invited him to come out and be a part of it. The new sheriff, the police director, all those individuals. I just got a call from District Attorney Amy Wyrick's office. We invite her out to be a part of it. When the community can see that we're coming together, with one mind and one spirit, we can make a difference.
So again, February the 2nd at 201 Poplar. You're just about downtown, close to the river there.
Right.
And find a parking spot, get there around 10:30 on the morning of February 2nd. The prayer begins at 11 o'clock and goes from 11 till 12. At 12, I mean, you're free to go. There's plenty of nice places. Let me encourage you to go have lunch at a local establishment, down there. or somewhere in town, help give back to the community by supporting local, restaurants.
Yeah.
Because you'll be hungry at that time.
Yeah, definitely so. And two, if there are individuals who want to purchase God So Love shirts, they can do that. If they call the church, we can make sure that
they're available.
They are available, and we can all be synchronized there.
Right. That's a good sign now.
Because we have the God So Love. We also have a new shirt that's come out, and it just says, brother, hug me, don't mug me.
Oh, I like that.
And so, and we got caps that go enough, ENUFF, IZZENUFF. So just kind of slang.
Yeah, I like
enough
that.
Is enough. So we've got those. If, individuals want to purchase those, they can call the church.
And what's that church number?
It's 901-948-3078. That's Bloomfield Church. Or they can call me personally at 901-481-3320. And we'd love to see everybody wearing them. But if not, they can wear their own church T-shirts or whatever.
Pastor Ralph, I want you to comment, if you would, on the article that has been written, and I know you know about this, when you were so wonderful about helping turn in the young man who killed the Memphis police officer, and you were able to you found out where he was, and you were able to negotiate his surrender. And one of the things that's come out, there was reward money, I think, that was offered, or you actually we're trying to request. Can you kind of straighten that out? Because sometimes the news doesn't give us the clear understanding of what it was, but there was a reward for his surrender that you were trying to obtain. And can you kind of talk about that from your standpoint for a second?
Yeah, they made the announcement of the reward, I guess, a week or so prior to that. I hadn't seen it, but then after the event where we turned him in, it was brought to my attention. And so we just had an attorney to go through whatever the procedures were. And it was said, well, we didn't have it. And it said, but it was in the paper.
Right.
We've got the article here and everything.
And some are saying too that, as a pastor, why would a pastor request, this reward?
I said, well, I didn't request it. They offered it.
Yes.
And just because I'm a pastor shouldn't have anything to do with that. As a matter of fact, I've spent over the years that kind of money and more. So, that should have nothing to do with it.
And it's more of an investment back into your ministry, because that money, I know, knowing you, that money is going to be used to further the gospel.
And I may send my wife somewhere, but still, I mean, that's what you offer to the citizens of the city. Right. If you help us, and somebody came to me and said, Reverend, how did it feel with this murderer in your car with 3 of his friends? And because they were just blown away, that you would do this. I said, well, I've known this guys for years, and it was just something that I do. And for them, though, to make it seem as if I was some kind of a crook or embezzler or whatever, I said, think about this now. You're still asking individuals to call Crime Stoppers and turn in people in their neighborhood that they know. But you're treating me like this? I mean, those people are looking at that.
Right.
And they need to be very mindful. And so the attorneys have it. And if it comes, fine. If not. And see, that was not the only thing. The federal government, they offered $10,000. They've not responded.
Of course, they're shut down right now,
Yeah, but okay, we'll give them till they open up. But these kinds of things. But people who know me, everybody I see, black, white, young, old. Have you got your money yet?
Yes.
I mean, people know me, and they know that's not my character to do.
Totally.
Well, and I don't even deal with it.
Okay, I tell you what, before we wrap up, because we want to go back and let people know about Hands Around 201, repeat the details of how they can participate. One other quick word, we don't have a lot of time, but March on the Madness, we're ahead of that right now, but I do want to mention what coming up on March on the Madness and what that's kind of tied in with the NCAA
what I'm doing,
basketball tournament.
Kind of piggybacking on that particular thought, March Madness.
Yeah.
We want to march on the madness that we see in our communities. And you mentioned the high crime areas. That's where we're going to go on that particular day. That's the third Saturday in March. And we know it's got a lot of basketball enthusiasts and all that. But we want to make that sacrifice. I think that's more important to many Memphians, with the crime problems that we have, that we're going to, and we're talking young, old, black, white. You don't have to be a religious group. You can just be a group who is concerned about what's happening in Memphis. Well, we're going to come together. We'll be given another date where we're going to actually have a rally and training for that particular outing.
And we want to give that out. Of course, we also want to just briefly mention the fishing rodeo that you do each year, which is really big in our community. What are the dates for that? Do you know?
That's always the second Saturday in June.
Okay, second Saturday in June. That's close to Father's Day, I believe.
Yeah.
In that same month of June.
That's because of the fact that you don't have to have fishing license. So anybody can come and fish, and we furnish everything, the rods, the reels, the fish, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So when people talk about money, we're busy getting
you are
money
busy. You are busy.
Things,
you are busy. You got things happening in so many ways to make a difference for Christ's kingdom right here in the city of Memphis. And I appreciate you, dear brother. Thanks for stopping by and bringing us updated on the events coming up through your ministry. And also specifically the Hands Around 201 Poplar on February the 2nd, Saturday, February the 2nd, kind of come on down around 10:30 to get in place, 11 o'clock sharp. We've got prayer time until 12 o'clock.
Right.
It's a peaceful time. It's a great way to bring families out too and to pray for our city, hold hands around 201 Poplar, the criminal justice building, and pray.
Definitely so. Prayer does change things.
Yes. And also, you gave out a couple of numbers. If you're interested in any of the swag, the God So Loved, the shirts, the hats, and the new designs that you have, you can call Bloomfield at 901-948-3078, or you can call you directly. You gave your I guess your cell phone number. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
901-481-3320.
All right.
And so,
Pastor Ralph, it's always good to see you. I appreciate you so much. It's always so much, I don't know, the camaraderie I sense when we're together. You know, I really enjoy when we get in the studio together and talk about our city, our Christ, and how we can make a difference as followers of Christ here. And thank you so much for what you're doing.
Appreciate you always being there for me.
Hey, friends, that's all the time we have on this edition of Mid-South Viewpoint. I do appreciate you stopping by. And for our YouTube watchers, thanks for watching. Please share this and subscribe to my channel. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.